What's up, guys? It's Friday, May 14th. Alex, Gay, Jameson, Jensen coming at you with our Trados weekly recap. We've got a full show for you. Tell them what we got.
Full show. We got markets, we got planning progress, we got weather, we got thank yous.
I think we're going to have a history lesson in there.
And some spelling, maybe.
Stick around.
Mississippi. And I will not spell that live.
Real fast, markets. I know we all think they're in turmoil. Let me tell you how good or bad they are. Start with corn. Corn is king. July corn down 60 cents on the week, $6.64 on the board. Here's the good news though, we're still up over the last 30 days. Guess how much we're up?
$1.
$1.
Ooh,
I know we're off the
lucky
highs
guess.
from a few days ago, but we're still $1 higher than we were a month ago. And basis is definitely firmer than it was a month ago in most spots around here. All in all, not that bad. D's corn, $5.61 on the board. That's down 55 since the beginning of the month, but it's still up pert near 50 cents from 30 days ago.
Wow, that's $0.50.
That's $0.50. Great math there, Alex. July beans, right around 16 bucks. Guess what?
What?
That's actually up about 20 cents
You're
on the
telling me
week.
July
Can you
beans
believe
were
that?
up? We're up this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's all the complaining about? We're actually up old crop beans.
Check that
Nobody
out.
has them left, but we're up old crop beans. That's about 2.20 in the last month of an improvement. Pretty steamy. Nove beans, 14.10 or so. That's down about a dime on the week. Still up about $1.60 in the last 30 days. Not as bad as it seems. I know we're seeing the forest through the trees here. July, KC wheat, we're getting close to harvest. $6.63 on the board. That's down from where we have been. Still up 60 cents in the last 30 days. June fat cattle, down 70 cents to $1.16. That's down $3 in the last month. Not great, not terrible. Especially when you look at May feeders, up $3 on the week at $1.37, down $10 in the last 30 days. Turns out $7 corn is not fun to feed to animals.
It is not.
What else we got, Alex?
Let's talk about planting progress. What's going on in the fields? Corn, we're 67% planted. Gets a 5-year average 52, so we're ahead of schedule. Good conditions out there. Soybeans, right now we're 42%. Against a 5-year average 22%.
So we're ahead of pace.
We're ahead of pace. We've had
Interesting.
good planting conditions, some might say. Weather forecast. South America is going to be dry. United States, part of the Midwest, most of the Midwest, and the Southeast is going to get some rain.
Woo!
Over the weekend, into the next week, and then after that, it might turn into summer. It's going to heat up.
Seasonally, it does get warmer in June. You're right.
Yeah, so that's going to check out. Hopefully it happens again this year. Be off to a good start with crops.
You know what's been in the news lately?
What?
Turns out there's a bridge problem.
Oh, yeah. Down in Memphis.
Memphis. You know what happened on this very day in 1804? Lewis and Clark launched their campaign across America. Can you believe that?
Lewis and Clark.
History just keeps coming
A
around.
couple good old boys there. They don't make them like that anymore.
Check me some personal stuff on Fridays, check my inbox, return some emails, and of course, send out thank you notes. And I was just running behind. Just wondering if I could write out my weekly thank you notes right now. Is that okay? James, can I get some thank you note writing music, please?
Thank you to the grain market discussion page on Facebook for letting me know that it's absolute that beans can go down when we have such a tight carryout.
Here's a good thank you. I'm going to write a thank you to my mother. Just a couple weeks ago was Mother's Day. I did give her a gift, being I'm her favorite son. Don't ask my brother about that.
I think she deserves it, knowing you. Thank you to the drought monitor. I know it doesn't look pretty, but it has really allowed for quick planting progress.
Thank you to cattle. May is beef month. I think every month is beef month. I do enjoy a good steak and some hamburger. I'm going to thank cattle.
Thank the Cowboys too.
Yeah. Not the Dallas ones.
Thank you to trash bags, garbage cans, some sort of plastic bucket, for keeping the Southeast in our memes and prayers.
Lastly, I'd like to thank my 3rd grade teacher back in West Point, Nebraska for teaching me how to spell Mississippi in this time of the Mississippi River being shut down for a brief period of time, but is now open.
With that, it's been an emotional week. Go have a fun weekend, especially if you get a rain day. We'll catch you next week.
See ya.
There we go.
We're rolling whenever you guys are ready.
Alright. Good morning, guys. Tyler, Jonah here for your weekly recap. Trade-offs HQ, Lincoln, Nebraska. Tyler, take it away with what the grains did today.
Yeah, we got July corn up 13 on the week at 6.57. December corn is up 2 on the week at 5.44. July soybeans are down 64 cents at 15.28. November soybeans are down 41 at 13.60. June live cattle are up $1.80 on the week at $1.1705. Kind of trading in between that support range of 114 and resistance up to 118. In the event we break through that 118, we're going to try to work back towards those $1.24 highs. August feeder cattle are up 40 cents on the week at $1.5160. And cattle on feed, they come out this afternoon, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how those numbers kind of show up to be.
Yeah, and then just to put a little bit of technical insight on the corn market this week, we've been holding around that 50% retracement level. That 540 level is what we're calling that 50% retracement. Yesterday we went down and actually tested the, or I guess it was 2 days ago now, we went down and tested the 50-day moving average, which is also that 61.8% retracement level. Some traders find both the 50 and the 61.8% as important numbers. We'll see if we can hold around this 540, 544 level to find either strength and pop back up, or if we break through, it could be a different story than that. Also on the corn news, China is a big buyer, as I'm sure everyone knows. In the last 10 days, they've bought 420 million bushels of corn. That's a large chunk in any terms. So as they stay active in the market, it will be, continue to promote good prices, I would hope. Tyler, that's about all I've got.
Yeah, on the weather side of things, South America is still in a lingering drought, as usual. It sounds like, and then also we also had pretty good rains come across the corn belt here in the U.S., so temperatures are warming and crop is starting to emerge.
Yeah, per usual, temperatures tend to warm going into summer, so that headline's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Other than that, Husker baseball, 7 o'clock. Our own Max Schreiber is going to be pitching tonight, hopefully, so tune in. Thanks for checking in this week. That was pretty choppy.
That was, yeah. that was.
Just redo that ending. Just redo the ending and I'll cut it in.
Do you want to see the ending?
From where? The baseball part?
No, just after the baseball. Just thanks for tuning in.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good weekend and stay safe out there.
Good luck to everyone at State Track.
Good luck
Like
to everyone
that,
at State Track.
State Track.
Run fast.
Jump high.
Jess says run fast.
Good afternoon, it's Tyson and Clint coming at you with the weekly recap as of Thursday afternoon. Let's see what we got today. Corn markets as of the close on Thursday. July corn finished up 12 cents at 6.54. That was limit up, so 40 cents up. And December corn finished up 12 cents at 5.52. Onto the soybeans. July soybeans finished up 16 cents at 15.36. And the Novi beans finished up 24 at 13.77. 13.77, that's on the week. Clint, what are you doing on the week?
We got wheat was up about 25 today at 6 1/4, bounced off that $6 mark. Cattle were down roughly $1 on the week. We got June in the 116s. Feeder cattle, August at 153. Right now it's down about 70 on the week. To note, the May went off the board about 136, 137, so there's a pretty big discount from where the May went off to where the August is trading at right now on those feeder cattle.
All right, so on the week we've had crazy trade ranges in the July corn and East corn. So just to look at the July corn on Tuesday, we have rumors that China was potentially canceling all these purchases here recently. Corn opened up at 660, it closed at 620 and had a high at 661. So it finished limit down. That was a 41-cent trade range. Fast forward to Wednesday, turns out these rumors are just rumors only. July corn opens up at 621, goes all the way to 629 with a low of 602. It ended up 3 cents, but it had a 27-cent trade range, so very wide ranges obviously. Now we show up on Thursday afternoon. These export sales are better than expected. So now the market's excited again. We got a 626 open, high at 664, that's where it closed, which was limit up. So we had a 43-cent trade range. That is incredible, but we're obviously at very high values now, so it's going to have a lot more volatility as we go into the summer here. So I would expect plenty more of that, and that's not going away anytime soon.
Yep, precursor for what's to come this summer. We took these markets down the last couple weeks, got technical indicators that oversold, and yeah, you throw in China news and weather news. We got 20% of the U.S. a little bit dry in the northwest, but the other 80% probably off to a great start. So very mixed bag going forward. We're gonna have a lot of volatility.
We've had a wild week so far with weather, western Nebraska, and in all of Kansas too. We've been wet, we've had tornadoes, we had some hail, it sounds like, further west. Hopefully that stuff stays away, but I think we have continued good rains in the forecast, so we need a lot of that to get this crop really going. One last thing to note, markets will not be open Sunday night for Memorial Day. They'll open Monday night at 7 p.m. And with that, you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Yep, same here. Have a great Memorial Weekend, everybody.
See you later.
Good afternoon, Alex, Jonah, Trade House Weekly Recap, June 4th, all day. It's National Donut Day. That's a huge day in my life. I love donuts.
I love donuts.
But I told my wife I'm not having one until after our wedding, which comes mid-August.
In the arms of the angel.
Green on the screen. Jonah, tell us why.
Yeah, hey, we'll dive into what happened this week. July corn closed last week, May 28th at 6.56. We closed this week at 6.81. That's 19 up on the day and 25 up on the week. December corn closed last week at 545.5. Closed this week at 590. That's up 44.5 on the week. Onto the soybeans. November soybeans closed last week at 13.71 1/4. Closed this week at 14.33 3/4. That's up 62.5 on the week. And then nearby soybeans closed last week at 15.28 3/4. Closed this week at 15.82.5, up 53 3/4 on the week. So we've seen a lot of volatility over the course of the last month, 2 month, 3 month period. We figured that's what was going to happen, knowing that supplies were short and we're trading a weather market. I do want to dive into the December corn contract just to talk about retracements and what we've seen movement-wise over kind of a longer period of time.
Yeah, tell me what these lines mean.
Yeah, so right here, this was the March 31st report. We had a big up day that day. I don't recall if it was limit, but that was 65 days ago from today, and we were at 450 on the low that day. Up to our high at 638, which was put in on 5/7. So May 7th at 638, we were putting a high in the market. That was a $1.88 move. From there, as we all know, we dropped off and we found a $5 low on a retracement here. $1.38 off the high at the $5 low, which comes in to be about a 73% retracement on that move that started on March 31st. That retracement happened in 13 trading days after that high was put in. So pretty quick move, pretty violent move. Again, with the volatility we're seeing, a lot of motion is flying around. So I think the all-encompassing thing that I want to get across here is just sticking to that seasonal time frame, with our seasonal in December corn being just at 505 for the opportunity, maybe a little higher now that we've got through the week, but still us being back to the 590, which brings me into the close of this week. 590, that's 90.5 cents off that low we put in 2 weeks ago on May 26th. I guess if you want to call it a correction on a correction. That's a 66% up move from that $5 mark we put in just 2 weeks ago. So that's what I have. That's a 65-day snapshot. We've seen from 450 to 638 to 5 and now at 590. A lot of opportunity there, but a lot of volatility happening as well. So
a lot of quick math. I'm going to talk about something way more simple than that. Weather. Currently we've got a low pressure system sitting over Texas. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's going to move north and it's not going to give us a good chance at rain. Over the next 11 to 14 days, rain's going to be pretty scattered and not measurable, so it's not going to sprinkle. It appears we're moving from maybe a cold dry situation into a warm dry, but yeah, I mean, it's good to get the crops out of the ground with a little bit of sun, but it's going to need a drink of water here before too long. So the other not simple thing, but export sales. So China's purchased 578 million bushels. They're forecasting to ship out 1 million metric ton from now until August once a week. So that's going to take care of their old crop purchases. There were rumors of them canceling last week. That didn't happen. They actually ended up adding some more onto there. So volatility, as Phil said, we're going to ride the tiger, see where it goes.
After all these numbers and Alex's odd Tiger comment, I think we're all sweating in here, so we're gonna have a donut and call it a weekend. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers, see ya.
Good afternoon, everybody. John Fauner with your Trados Weekly Update. Ended up with December corn up 20 at 610. That's on the week, excuse me, from last Friday's close to this Friday's close. Up 20 at 610. Had a range of actually 35 cents, been up as much as 25 and down as much as 25. So it's been quite the roller coaster, but that's kind of what happens when you're trading a weather and a headline type of market. November beans up 6 on the week at 14.39. July wheat was down 4 at 6.81, and December cotton, for all my southeastern boys, we were down, or excuse me, up 2 cents a pound, a little over 2 cents a pound at 87.92 is where we closed at today. So be stair-stepping those orders, have those in. And again, back to we're trading a headline market. You know, today the announcement was there could be some biorefinery or biofuel credits possibly given to some of the smaller refiners, and that caused the market to react pretty violently. I think soybean oil was actually down limit today for a while, and so soybeans reacted accordingly. But however, towards the end of the market, they recovered some, and they were definitely not on the lows for the day. But overall, when you have these volatile markets, it's very, very important that you have some sort of defined plan. And I know you're tired of probably hearing me say that. You see it in my emails. Anybody that works with anybody from Trados, we always talk about a plan. And, you know, we also hear a lot of feedback from you. Well, the plan's changed. You know, things are different. It's a weather market. Well, no, it really hasn't. You know, if you have some defined goals and some defined downside protection, it will make your life much, much easier and less stressful. I mean, $6 corn and $14 soybeans shouldn't be stressful, but it kind of feels like that right now because we obviously are trying to maximize the market, but we are also in a weather market. You know, there's a lot of guys north of, I don't know, I-80, maybe even a little south of I-80 that are very concerned right now that, you know, are they going to get enough rain throughout the summer to complete this crop? We're very, very early. So there's a lot of uncertainty, but having that defined plan will give you clarity and it will give you confidence going forward as long as you are managing it with your crop insurance guarantees in mind. So on that note, I'm just going to say have a great weekend, relax, chill out, enjoy some golf or whatever you like to do, get out on the lake. I know I am. We'll see y'all.
It's almost the weekend, guys. We'd like to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. Everybody works hard, you guys out there, so you deserve a little break and your family will celebrate you. So we encourage everybody to get out there and enjoy your time. We had a big week this week. It's a lot of volatility. We had a historic day yesterday. We saw the biggest single day drop in beans. Not something we like to see, but markets did recover today, so that was promising end of the week. We're heading into the weekend here. We got a big weekend for weather. We're talking lots of rain for most of the Midwest. We'll see where it occurs. Things will probably be volatile Sunday night, so kind of be paying attention to what happens there.
Yeah, and so, like you said, happy Father's Day to everyone. College World Series going on in Omaha this weekend. That starts tomorrow. A couple games tomorrow, a couple games Sunday.
And with that, we'll turn it over to Justin Morrison for the rest of the recap. Have a good weekend, guys.
There's no rules! Let's just start back on. There's one rule! Yeah, just kidding, but not really, guys. This is what we're trading. It is, does this weather report say that we're wetter in the spots where we need rain in high production areas like North Iowa, Southern Minnesota, especially Northwest Iowa, Southern Wisconsin? That is the market right now. This is the world we live in. If you're a fund manager, long a bunch of beans yesterday was like the end scene of Animal House. And you got one guy who's deep committed saying all is well as the world's on fire. Remain calm! All is well! All is well!
Bouncing back a little bit today, off quite a bit this week on both corn and beans. And this is what the trade is going to be. So if you're not mentally prepared for a market that is literally going to act like a teenage girl,
that's going to be high and low and doesn't know what it wants to be when it grows up. This is our life for the next 2 to 6 weeks. So if you're sitting here thinking it'll come back, it might, but it might go away $1, $1.50. Reading an update from a coworker of mine talking about how bean limits have been expanded to $1.50 and $3. So basically no limits. This is the Wild West we're in. So have your targets ready and be willing to commit to prices, because if you're banking on some outside force, like you're out of time, harvest out of space, and you're forced to market, and you hope that we still have these kinds of prices when we get there, it's a high risk reward game you're playing. So I would find levels that you feel comfortable with. Ask yourself, how do you feel if we gain $1.50, and how do you feel if we lose $1.50, and what does your percent exposure tell about your level of comfort with your position? So I would take a hard look at that. Live with making the decisions. It's going to be okay. You'll be okay if you make a decision.
Hey everybody, it's Max and TR here with Trados, and we're going to bring you the top 3 things this week from both the College World Series and the Ag World. So starting at number 3 for the College World Series, we have players getting desperate for wins and fans maybe having a little too much fun.
Top 3 events coming in Ag this week. We got number 3. We had a lot of hailstorms coming through to Nebraska this week, kind of in the central and then also in the northern part of Nebraska.
Half your life you struggle.
All right, coming in at number 2, we have a matchup between Texas and Virginia that got pushed back to almost a 10 p.m. start, where Texas came out on top and got to advance.
Coming in at number 2, we got the weekly changes on the week. We got September corn down 49 on the week at 5.30. December corn's down 48 on the week at 5.19. August soybeans are down 53 at 13.04. November soybeans are down 46 on the week at 12.70. Kansas City wheat down 5 on the week on the July at $6.
If I fall, can you let me down easy?
On the livestock side of things, we got August fats up 87 cents on $1.22. Kind of thing to note on the livestock side of things is live cattle have been trading kind of up there on the 5-year highs going back to 2017.
All right, and coming in at number 1, we have a walk-off winner. Vanderbilt came out on top to avoid elimination.
Number 1 on the week, we got the June quarterly stocks report next Wednesday, June 30th, coming out at 11 a.m.
I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
That's going to be pretty volatile and pretty influential going for the next few coming months. One thing to note is from the March report to this report, the kind of trade estimates are expecting an increase of 2.6 million acres of corn, pegging it out at 93.8 would be the average estimate. As far as on the soybean side of things, trade estimates are expecting another 1.3 million acres, pegging that at 88.9 million acres for this report. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how that plays out and then how the markets will react accordingly. So College World Series, you going to that?
Yep, going to the College World Series tonight, and if you are going to the game tonight, make sure to wear your boots because it is country night.
Hey, nice. Cool. Well, sounds good. You guys have a great week, and we'll keep track next week.
Trial and error, just like getting a good marketing plan. Keep on working, it'll work out. By the way, it's never too early for orange juice in your beer. Beautiful. Good morning from beautiful Niobrara and happy 4th of July weekend. This weekly recap was explosive, just like the fireworks will be here on the shoreline of the Niobrara of the Missouri. Dees corn for the week up 61.5 cents, which at the high from the low was the largest weekly gain in over a decade. Sitting around that 580-ish level now. Nove beans up $1.26, coming in at $13.96. August cattle down 30 cents, slightly right around that 123. September wheat sitting at 618. Again, we had a shocker USD report on Tuesday coming in with lower acres as expected on both corn and beans, and that kind of skyrocketed the market from being down 15 to closing up limit on corn and up about 80 on beans. It'll follow through. Dry weather coming up here in the short term for next week. Big 3-day weekend from the markets. With that, have a great 4th of July and enjoy your weekend. Hit it, Knox. Beautiful.
What's up, everybody? It's Jameson here with our newest broker, Colette. Friday, July 9th, and we're here for your weekly recap. And as we all know, it's been a pretty terrible week in commodities. Whichever one you're really looking at, it's been pretty rough.
Oh! Kissing it! Kissing it! Oh!
Just real quick from our post-June 30th stocks report, so the first of the month, our high in Dees corn was right around 6.11. Today we're down around 5.10. That's down about $1. That's not what we're looking for. Hopefully next week is better. Here comes the... moving on to soybeans, the first of the month, our high was 14.23 or so. Today it's right around 13.22. Doesn't take a genius. That's also down about $1. KC wheat, September. I know we're in the middle of wheat harvest. It's some guys are done, some guys are just starting. On the first, we were at 6.69. Today we're at 5.82, down well over $1. It does seem like there's protein premiums out there, so if you know what you have, make sure to take advantage of that. On to the cattle. August feeders began the month at $1.58. They did touch 168 at one point. Today we're right around $1.57. That's down $1. And fat cattle in the August, we began the month at $1.24. Today we're at $1.19. That's down $5. As you can see, we've got WASI written on the board. Colette, what do we know about that?
That's right, Jameson. The WASI is coming out on Monday, and according to Scott Irwin of the University of Illinois, we have only changed the yield in the July report 3 times in the past. So we're going to focus on the estimates for ending stocks. For corn, the average estimate there is 1402, soybeans 148, wheat 729.
Perfect. So we'll see how that goes. And then real quick, I know there's a lot of big basis numbers out there, especially on corn, but let's talk about what that means in terms of relative to what we've seen this last summer. So let's say you've got $1 over the September basis. That sounds really great, and it's a lot better than 50 under, I'll grant you that. But if you took the inverse from May to July at 20, which I think would be pretty generous, and $1 from July to September, $1 over is just option or zero even with July, and it's 20 under the May. And I know we had a lot of opportunity to trade 40 to 50 over both the May and July in a lot of places. So just be aware that $1 looks really cool, but it may be relative to what we've seen is not great. With that, have a great weekend, and we'll catch you Monday.
Guys, it's Haley and Gate here for your Trade-Offs Weekly Recap. It is Friday, July 16th, I believe.
All day.
Monday we had a WASI report. It's pretty neutral there. They left corn and soybean carryout estimates for the 2021 crop within the range. They left yields unchanged, probably more of an August report thing that they'll adjust those if they're going to. We're still assuming trendline yields for now, which is roughly 179.5 bushels on corn, 50.8 bushels per acre on soybeans.
Let's talk about weather. Everyone loves talking about weather. I do too. Next 10-day forecast. Western Corn Belt is going to stay dry. Those I states over east appear to be catching a little bit more rain. If you're in northern Missouri, that's probably not your favorite thing to hear because I think you're swimming currently. There's a lot of water there, so we'll see. I think we got some welcomed rain here in the Western Corn Belt this week. I think things are looking happier than they were a week ago. We'll see where the next 10 days take us.
For sure. Weekly changes, roughly the board's not quite closed yet today when we're filming this here, roughly 11 a.m. We got December corn up about 45 on the week, currently sitting about 560. November beans up 50 on the week, right about that $14 range. September Kansas City wheat up 60 at 652-ish, about $1 off the highs there.
If you've been living under a rock, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln hired a new AD this week. Trev Alberts coming back home. A couple fun facts about him. He's an All-American linebacker back in the mid-90s. I think he's ex-hero. He was at UNO for 12 years, but he's going to move on from Omaha down to Lincoln. Said this was his dream job, and thanks Bill Moose, but welcome Trev Alberts. So with that, have a good weekend.
Thanks guys. See ya.
Hey everybody, this is Zane Nadler with Trade House. Happy Friday everybody. Coming from Lindsay, we got the weekly recap, but first I want to remind everybody that we got our t-shirt giveaway going on right now through August 6th. So we want looking for submission of different ag type pictures, weed harvest, growing crops, different things like that. So send your pictures in to our Facebook page, and the person with the most likes, that'll be the winner that is announced on August 6th within our weekly recap. So don't forget to get those pictures over. If you look at the grain side of stuff for this morning, we do got a little red on the screen on corn and soybeans. Corn right now is down about 7 cents at D-Sport, right around 5.48, which would be up about a nickel on the week. November soybeans down about 25 cents currently. 13.51, which would put that market about unchanged on the week. So we had some rains there across South Dakota kind of coming through this morning. We do got some rains forecast this weekend. Also just kind of an end of month type trade kind of put some pressure on the market here this morning. So just like what we've seen over the last few weeks, the market's going to be very, very sensitive to forecast change and forecast updates. So that'll be something to see over the weekend to see if those rains did come to fruition or not. The other thing to kind of add in there on grains is, of course, our conditions report come out every Monday afternoon. The expectation this week would be, I think, a couple point drop with some of the heat and dryness that we saw. And some of your bulls out there are going to be looking at that second week of August where that heat has returned. So forecast will be very, very important here in the coming weeks still. On the cattle side of stuff, we've got cash trade in the south, trading right around 120, which would be about $1 higher than last week. 122 in the north, which would be steady to slightly higher than last week. Looking at the future side of stuff, August live cattle right around 122.25, which would be up about 75 cents on the week. We got feeders trading right around 158 off that August board, which will be down about $2 on the week. So again, with that, everybody have a good weekend. Happy Friday, and don't forget to send in your agricultural pictures to our Facebook page.
All right, hello and welcome to the Friday, August 6th weekly recap. We got a lot coming at you today. Let's start off with the photo contest winner. That is Andy, excuse my spelling or pronunciation on this, Chaline. You are the winner. We'll get in contact with you with some good stuff. Let's go. Next thing, we got the Laurel Agricultural Open Golf Outing Monday, August 9th. If you're out there, please come and say hi to Alex and
TR. We're going to be on the floor, handing out
some
beers. We'll be in the shade. It'll be awesome.
It's going to be a beautiful day, only high 90s. Let's go to Wakefield, Nebraska, August 13th for the Corn Growers event up there. And I don't know what hole we're going to be on.
I don't know.
Alex is going to be there as well. He sits at golf holes, meets farmers. Keep it moving. Tyson, what do we got?
I got the markets on the week. D's 21 corn, this is as of 9 a.m., up 8 on the week. Nov 21 beans are down 13 at right around 13.45. September Kansas City wheat is up 28 at $7 on the September board. Alex, you got the weather.
Yeah, weather. I love talking about weather, and so does everyone else. Most recent forecast this morning. It's going to be winter in the east. That seems like it's been a common theme. Drier here in the plains. So the Dakota's down to Oklahoma. Probably not a ton of rain coming our way. It's going to be more dry into the western part of Iowa. We did get a sprinkle here this morning and a couple sprinkles in western Iowa. So we're going to hold on to that. Talk about exports.
Exports this week, well, over the last 2 months, they've slowed in June and July, obviously with the South American crops coming off. But at the start of the week, we did have a 300,000 metric ton sale to unknown, which typically means China. And then also this morning, we had a sale of 131,000 metric tons. I believe that was also to China.
It was, yes.
So, yield estimates?
Yeah, private estimates are coming out. A couple have come out this week in preparation for the August 12th WASDE report. Estimates have been anywhere from 172 at the very bottom to 177. The last number that the USDA printed was 179.5. So we'll see where the chips fall on Thursday at 11, and we'll take them from there.
Next thing, Hardington. We were there last Monday. We got a winner. Backed by popular demand. We got t-shirts. We got a cooler. This thing can hold a lot of coffee. It can keep other things cold too.
We got Phil.
Draw it up. Draw it up.
Alex, can you read this writing?
I am Jeff.
Jeff Lizey, Hardington, Nebraska, coming at you.
There
We're
you
gonna
go,
send you a
Jeff.
cooler. We'll find you a T-shirt and thermos, and we'll come find you.
Stay safe, be cool, have fun, have a good weekend.
Have a good
Yeah,
weekend.
List of
Should've done some
contests.
curls or something before we got on.
You didn't?
Should we
No.
hit some
Half dips.
Okay.
All right. No extra talking.
All right, you ready?
5 and 4 and 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome. All right,
What's the day?
You're an idiot, Phil.
Yeah,
So
six.
stupid.
6. All right, we
Beat
ready?
you not at 13:45.
3 and 2 and
Good morning, everybody. It's Jameson, it's Tyler, it's the Trade-Offs Weekly Recap. It is Friday the 13th. So keep your head on a swivel out there. Real quick, Tyler, what do we got for the grains?
Right, this week we have December corn up 25 on the week at 578. We got November beans up 35 on the week, up 22 today, sitting there at 1365 right now. September wheat up 60 on the week, also up 15 on the day at 756. October live cattle are up 70 cents on the week at $1.2830, and September feeders are up 20 cents on the week at $163.30. Yesterday we had a big WASDE report. Jameson, what happened there?
So we can tell prices are stronger this week. Real quick, the highlights that everybody cares about. The corn yield came in at a 174.6. That's down 4.9 bushels. Our projected carryout came in at 1.2 billion. That's down about 200 million from where we were the previous report. Beans, a yield of 50.0. That's down 0.8. 155 million bushel carryout. That's right on the money where we were last time around. KC wheat came in at 777 million bushels of production. That's down about 30 from the previous report. U.S. wheat production at a 19-year low. So with that, we had a pretty responsive market. Yesterday, December corn came in at 595 at its high. That's the highest it's been since the 2nd of July. November beans rallied all the way to 1369. That's the highest they've been in about 2 weeks. And September Kansas City wheat again marching on today to a new contract high at 756. Tyler, what else we got?
One thing we kind of note there is, we try to, with these volatile years and drought-driven markets, want to try to look back to past markets. So like 2011, 2012 timeframe, back then, the world grain stocks were sitting at a 12 to 13% stocks to use, and in order to, that's when we were hanging around that $7.50 to $8 type markets. One thing to kind of note there is sitting on this year is right now we're projected anywhere from a 22 to 23% stocks to use, which is pretty much double from what we were sitting at back in that 2011 and 12 time frame. So trying to put that in perspective there, if there's going to be some sort of rally going forward to expose us to those $7.50 to $8 markets, there's got to be something other than what we're currently experiencing right now have to go on. But
Tyler, I don't know what you were doing in 2011 and 12. I was at the back rail, just getting dirty, having a great time.
Husker football.
Speaking of great times, what do we got going on this weekend?
Oh man, we got lots of stuff
Big
going on in
weekend.
Lincoln. We got our very own Alex Gade. He's getting married.
Congratulations, Alex and Rachel.
Absolutely. We also got Garth Brooks. He is coming to Lincoln tomorrow, I believe. We're going to have some cooler weather. It's going to be a fabulous weekend. Then we also got the Dropkick Murphys.
That's tonight. It's in downtown Lincoln. Doug came in with his hair on fire this morning. Look for him there tonight. He'll be the one in the front screaming his face off. Outside of that, we do have some upcoming rains in the south and the east. So if you're down there, good luck with that. Pretty dry everywhere else. With that, have a great week. We'll see you later.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, August 27th. It's 9:15, so we're coming at you a little bit early with our Trade-Offs Weekly Update. We got corn on the week up 10 at 547, beans up 23 at 1315. September Chicago wheat is up 7 at 722. July 2022 wheat is up 4 at 718. Speaking of that, the seasonal on wheat is typically that June through the end of August timeframe. We've had some really, really good prices. It's been a while since you've been able to lock in some wheat for next year over $7, especially for an extended period of time like we've had. So, if you're contemplating wheat and going with some beans after it, November 22 beans are sitting around 1264 here this morning. So, if you're in the Southeast United States, the wheat bean combo is looking pretty attractive versus what the inputs right now on corn, which in the Southeast is a lot higher risk crop, especially if you're dry land. That being said, looking at it next year, September corn next year is 522, December corn's at 512. Those are also some levels that maybe we need to look at, especially if you're the type that, pre-books your seed, your fertilizer, things like that. I know those costs are sky high. And some guys won't even quote you like for your P and your K because there's so much uncertainty in the freight situation. But if you're locking in some nitrogen, you might want to look at that December 22 up over $5 and maybe take a swing at locking in some of those input costs. Here locally right now, we're trying to get harvest started. We're about 2 weeks behind normal, maybe even 3 weeks. Typically by that first week of September, we're hitting our stride, we're wide open. And that's when you start seeing the bases collapse and the mills start to plug and things like that. However, we're nowhere close to that. I think there are maybe a few guys trying to get started. The corn moisture is around about 25% for the guys I do know that have done some testing. And we got a hurricane coming up this way. So it's definitely going to be 2 to 3 weeks at least before these basis premiums that we're seeing right now, which they are definitely premium down here, settle down and we actually hit our stride and we're going wide open. That being said, sounds like the Eastern United States are catching some rains, trying to get caught up where they were short. I know I have some clients up in Indiana that said they hadn't had very substantial rain since July 10th. But then last week they started getting some rain and some things have straightened up, but it definitely took the top end out, so a record crop in the East is probably not going to happen. They're going to definitely have an average to above average. So making up for the losses in the North Dakota and the South Dakota area and that northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, which is still kind of up in the air. I don't know, but we do need some demand from China or somebody to come in here and keep these futures propped up. The market seems very comfortable around 550 on December corn right now. We've been in that range from 520 to 580, and it always keeps coming back to that 550. So for now, that's where we're at until we either decide we have a good crop, we don't have a good crop, or we got some demand comes in and starts scooping some of this up. Rumors are flying around that China may have bought anywhere from 10 to 25 cargoes this week. We're still waiting for that to develop. Obviously, that's just kind of the rumor on Twitter and social media. Probably that'll start coming to fruition next week. We'll find out if they did or if they didn't. That being said, you're still over $13 on November beans here. So, if you're still needing to make some sales, you've been dragging your feet a little bit, probably not a bad time to look at doing something. Because if it doesn't come to fruition, we're down below the 100-day moving averages. It may continue to take a technical and seasonal slide on down into harvest. Same thing for corn. We got some support right here, but if we don't get some demand, this thing is probably going to start taking a seasonal downturn. That being said, have a great weekend. I know some guys are up at the 100 Years of Farming Progress or whatever that's called in Rantoul, Illinois. That looks like a hell of a party. I've already seen a lot of videos from there. Got some friends at Lake of the Ozark this weekend for the shootout. The American Ethanol boat is the perennial winner, so let's hope it still continues to represent ethanol and be a winner this year. That being said, I'm out. Thanks.
Hey, good morning, guys. Jonah and Drew here. Friday morning, it's 10:30. I'm going to hit you with a little bit of a market update here. Then Drew is going to talk about some harvest logistics. December corn opened the week at 553. We were down to start the week. We went as low as 518 on Wednesday. The last couple days, we've had a little bit of a correction. Back to 525 on the day. That's flat on the day. November beans opened the week at 1323. They went down and touched 1270 on Wednesday. That was the low for the week, and then we've corrected back to 1294. That's 24 cents off the low. Still puts us 29 cents down on the week. A lot of this sell-off that started the week is attributed to Hurricane Ida and some damage that came across into the Gulf. Some uncertainty there, unknowing on how long it's going to take to get a lot of those exporters back online. Looking back on Hurricane Katrina, it took about 2 to 3 weeks for them to get to some sort of back to normal down in that area, but the reports that power has come on for some facilities here today is promising, and their projections that some type of fob offers come back to the market start of next week. We'll see if that happens. We'll continue to watch that story, but that's what I've got for you today, and we'll let Drew handle Harvest Logistics here.
Sounds good. Starting to see some silage being cut in the field and some seed corn being cut, so harvest is right around the corner. I think the big question that farmers got to ask is what they plan on storing and why. And so we're not seeing the real big bean premiums we were hoping for. If you rewind 3 months ago, we were kind of hoping we'd come into harvest with some dollar over type soybean premiums. We're just not seeing that. So market telling us that they think they got enough old crop beans to put a band-aid over till new harvest comes in. But on the corn, we are seeing a good premium still. Most markets kind of 50 to 60 over the December for nearby corn. So there is going to be that premium, especially into these processors and some shuttle loaders, to get that corn out of the field at 25 moisture, draw it down, and try to hit a market here in September. So as you look at, okay, what am I going to use my storage for? Corn or beans? Right now we've got December to March carry in corn of 9 cents out to May 14. In the soybeans, November to Jan carry is 9 cents out to March 14 and May 21. Most processors on the soybeans are running that 20 to 35 under the no for harvest, and shuttle loaders in that 40 to 60 under range. So I think you'll see more beans stored this year, and it's probably more of a function of the counter seasonal rally we had last year, and basis really shot up after harvest. So I don't right or wrong. I think you'll probably see more beans going to Bend, but just look at those carries and decide what logistically makes sense for your operation, how you're going to maximize the storage. But give us a call if we can help in that in any way.
Well, thanks guys for tuning in, listening today. We appreciate you watching our content, and have a good 3-day weekend.
Have a great weekend. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Friday, guys. John Linhart, Jameson Jensen. We're on the verge of harvest. We're excited. We got through the USDA report today, so we're going to jump right into the numbers. We've got corn yield of 176.3, about 2 bushels higher than last month at 174.6. Ending stocks rose obviously from 1.24 to 1.4, so up marginally, not a huge difference. The market had priced most of this in. Up 8 today, down 5 for the week, so it looks like maybe we're finding the bottom here. We'll see if we can carry the strength into next week.
On to beans, our yield did increase 0.6 bushels. We're at 50.6 versus 50 from a month ago. Our ending stocks grew 10 million to 185 million. We're up 20 on the day, 1290 new crop futures, and pretty much flat on the week. So these are the star of the show today. On to the things that are maybe less exciting today. December Kansas City wheat at 685 on the board. That's up 3 today, but unfortunately down 35 for the week. We've got October feeders at round $1.58, down $1.50 today. $5 on the week, been pretty brutal for those guys. Live cattle right around $1.23. That's off about 50 cents a day, and $2.50 on the week. And then just to kind of put it in context, everybody's worried about increasing acres. We had the information leak earlier this week. They came at the combined corn and bean planted acres at 180.54 million. That's just up about 250,000 from a month ago. There's some thoughts out there that we could see this number get to 182 million, which would be a pretty high. Just for context, the all-time record was in 17 at 180.33. So currently, we're setting the record.
We're there.
What else we got, John?
And kind of a side note, natural gas has been up dramatically this week. It's back over $5. We haven't seen that since 2014. So it's going to put a little of a damper on drying charges this year. There's potentially talk that it could double in price if we see any further restriction in supply, and if we have a colder than normal winter. So they're talking maybe even doubling up to $10 or $11, which we haven't seen that since 2008. I think was the last time we saw that. So kind of a negative there, especially since we're using natural gas for fertilizer prices. Everybody's already squeezed on fertilizer prices for next year, so not exactly what we want to see. Also, this evening, if anybody's going to be in Warrensburg, we've got the World of Outlaws Show Me Shootout Tractor Pull, starts at 6:30. We're sponsoring the limited Light Stock Pro Tractor Series, so we're excited for that. We'll see everybody tonight.
Have a great weekend. Hey, good afternoon. This is Adam and Tyler coming to you from Trados HQ on a beautiful Friday. A little rain looks like it's coming our way, coming through the state of Nebraska. And we got the rare occasion of Tyler being at work on a Friday. We're excited about that.
On time.
On time. Some social stuff. Huskers at Oklahoma tomorrow, 22-point dogs. We don't like that. I am 100% not on the negative Husker train, so I'm pro Huskers all day.
Exactly.
Tyler wavers back and forth at times.
We got Husker volleyball tomorrow. We got the hometown Louisville. Danny Kelly coming back. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, Louisville had a pretty good run in the tourney last year, so it should be a good game tomorrow night. And we had in Lincoln last night, we had the Alabama concert, which was awesome. I went to that. My wife and I had a lot of nostalgic tractor ride songs come on. That was pretty fun. Those guys are pretty good for being 70. They were killing it.
Yeah.
I was impressed. Moving on from that, we got corn on the week. D's corn's up 10 at 527. We've held that support at the 200-day moving average at 507 so far. Either, any time here in the next few weeks, we can have the harvest lows come into play. From a technical standpoint, corn is probably on a weaker side of the market today. So if these seasonal lows are coming in, we've had about $1.40 range, $1.20 range, call it, and typically seasonally you'll get a 25% roughly retracement of the range robotically over the last 20 years. So a 540 to 550 market could be expected, post-harvest lows if those are in. Anything else on that? In the short term, the 50-day moving average is about 545, so that kind of lines up with that retracement number. Beans are down 2 on the week. We got support at 1286, which is the 200-day moving average. We've been able to hang right around that for the last couple of weeks. Beans have had a pretty massive pullback. They are also extremely technically weak, and if we are putting in harvest lows, our range has been roughly $2 probably on beans from the high-low range. Historically on beans, your retracement's a little stronger, about 50%, which ironically leads you right back again to the rough consolidation of the moving averages, which is about 1350-ish. So that could be somewhat of an expected, assuming that our lows are in, the range is defined, and that would be pretty expected. Both those commodities have had some early harvest premium so far. Corn's the leader by a long ways today. If you got any corn that can hit a place that's taking wet corn, or if you have a dryer, there's some massive opportunities out there. Beans, the short-term premiums have kind of subsided in the last month. TR, you want to hit the rest?
Yeah, we had December wheat up 32 on the week at 715, which is down 3 on the day. Switching over to the live cattle side of things, we've had a pretty big pullback here lately, about probably $10 on the live cattle and then 16, 17 bucks on the feeders. October live cattle are down 40 on the week at $1.23. We kind of holding support there at $1.23 as well, which is kind of moving right along with that 200-day moving average. The technical side of things, it's obviously on the oversold, kind of weaker side of things. So if we do get some sort of balance, hopefully get back to that 50-day moving average, which is kind of sitting there at $1.26. I've heard rumors anywhere from $3 to $4 positive basis here on the cash side of things, so that's pretty good for this time of year as well. On the feeder side of things, obviously massive pullback here lately. Bouncing off that $1.20, $1.73 highs on the October board. So kind of they're down 90 cents on the week at $1.5680, down 30 cents on the day. If you believe in chart gaps, that we just actually this week filled that gap at $1.57, and we've been holding kind of that $1.56 support going back to kind of mid-June. So kind of see where we kind of bounce off from there, and hopefully get back up to those mid-60s here. So.
So in the ag commodity world, we're all for the most part we're all in a technically weak setting. The only commodity off the top of my head that is in a positive situation technically currently would be crude oil and nat gas. Right. Nat gas is on fire. Crude's putting in highs. So I don't know exactly what that means, but of the commodities that we kind of pay attention to from a ag
management standpoint would be the energies are the only ones that are at the upper end of a technical strong side of the market. What else we got, TR?
That's about it.
We got a few football games tonight, high school football. Hope everybody stays safe, stays healthy, and go Huskers.
Absolutely.
Go on, baby.
Hello, welcome. It is September 24th, and this is the Trade House Weekly Recap. First things first, we have our newsletter coming out, a little three-part deal. We hit a lot of good things about harvest values, a little self-personal development. If you want a copy, please email us. We will get that out to you. Comment below, put your email, DM us. We'll get that out to you ASAP. Tyson, what do you got for us?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Grains on the week. Corn down 3 cents on the week. This is as of 9:30 Friday morning at a 5.24 type of value. November beans are down 4 cents, so they've been pretty uneventful. Right around 12.80 on the Nove, and Kansas City wheat's actually been up 5 cents this week at 7.18. Guys have been starting off harvest here in the past 5 days. If you have corn and can hit some of these early markets, there's been some pretty big premiums for that so far. I would look for corn basis to probably collapse sometime here in the next 5 to 10 days, where those front early corn premiums could go away to these more supply harvest type of values. So basis values on the beans have also been firm, steady to firm, have been getting better here in the last 5 to 10 days too. So pay attention to those. Phil, what do you got for us on the rest of it?
Crude oil was up $2 this week. It's a big move. We're testing some old highs there, right around that $74 mark. Let's flip over to the fat cattle. They were flat, roughly on the week, trading right around that 122.87 mark. No feeders, up $2 roughly at 158. Some interesting things to note on the cattle is we've had a pretty big pullback there. The technicals are starting to roll over and showing maybe some upside there, along with some seasonality that we will get some of that back, 50 to 70% retracement depending on it. Let's get to the exciting stuff though. We got the Huskers traveling to East Lansing. Big game. If you're a bettor, take them +5, take them money line. We're taking them down. Number 20 Michigan State is a joke. And we'll show that Saturday night. I hope all your teams win if you're not a Husker fan, unless you're a Michigan State fan, because that's just not going to happen. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next week.
Go Big Red.
Good morning, this is Ethan with Trade House coming to you from Lindsay, Nebraska with your weekly recap. Corn is down 8 cents as of today on a late week rally following Tuesday's bearish USDA report. USDA raised their corn yield up to a 176.5. That's up about a bushel, increasing projected ending stocks to 1.5 billion. That is still one of the tightest numbers we've seen since 2014. Seasonal trend is higher this time of year, but basis and yields remain better than expected, so it's a good opportunity to take some of that cash and just put it into the bank coming off the combine. Ethanol margins remain very strong. Soybeans are down 18 cents on the week as futures have bounced now 30 cents from that 11.84 low, which was also the low from March 2021. So again, it's kind of a good little level to bounce there from a technical view. Higher yields and lackluster demand here leans negative into a sideways trade here, as again the seasonals point towards a rally. If that 11.84 does hold, the minimal retracement here over the last 12 years would be 33%. That would put November beans back to 12.81. So again, if looking for future opportunities, that would be it. There is again a good carry in the bean market, so that's one thing to make sure you're focused on. Live cattle have been stronger this week. Auk Live having a good week, up $1.90. As cash is stuck here in a 3-week trend. Basis has flipped $5 since cattle have kind of bottomed and started their rally. October expires in 2 weeks, and that will leave a pretty large premium here from futures to cash. Huskers play again this weekend, praying for no sort of disappointment as we've seen the last couple weeks. So GBR, and have a good week and be safe out there.